Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the market wrap up with myself, Michael Nauss, chartered market technician. We're doing this for the 20th of July, 2023. Very interesting day in the market today. Talked a little bit about yesterday, this bearish candlestick pattern that looked like it was happening in the market. We got the follow through today, so we'll go over what that means. As always, if you want to get this and all of the charts that you see attached and access to my watch list, email directly to you. Go to statsedtrading.com, sign up for the email list there. So without further ado, quick look at Bitcoin. Nothing's happening. So then we'll stop looking at Bitcoin. The only other ones that I want to take a look at here on the currency side is gold. Broke out of these anchored VWAPs, one from this high right here and one from this major low right here. Broke out, now it's kind of retesting it, so there's an interesting look there as well. And then also pound dollar here. So pound dollar broke out of this prior high right here, came back at testing this zone. So I'm looking for pound dollar on a shorter time frame to see if we get a move off of this. Now, into the equity markets. We're going to spend a little bit of time here on the SPY and talk about this evening star pattern. So for those who don't know, there's a morning star and an evening star. These are technical patterns. Basically, it's just a up day followed by a doji, an inside day, and then a down day, right? So the idea is you have an uptrend, you have a bunch of indecision, and then if you immediately have a downtrend after that, that indecision is being followed up with bearishness. That bearishness could lead to lower prices. So I went through and I ran the back test on the S&P 500 going back 27 years, going through every evening star pattern and saying what happens 1 to 5, 10, and 20 days after. So for 1 and 2 days after, we generally have lower prices that we have to look at after this, about 1 to 2% and about 60% of the time. So again, nothing in tradings for sure, but those are pretty good probabilities that we may pull back a little bit further. 10 to 20 days later, doesn't really matter. It's actually a bullish sign if you go that far out. So could be in for a little bit of a pullback here, right? We could have another couple days. Maybe we test this breakout point right here. If we get a bounce from there, that's fantastic. So what I did today personally is I went through my holdings and just cut things that weren't working, right? Things that pulled back really, really far. Sorry. And then I want to show an example of something that didn't pull back very far. So Adobe, right, held on very, very well. We're in Adobe from 500, right? It's gone all the way up to 540, and now it's back to 518. So things that did well, I kept. Things that did poorly, I got rid of. And that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. I also added a little bit of short exposure. I usually don't talk about shorts, but I may start. Again, comment down below or reply to the email if you're signed up for the email list if you want both long and shorts, and we can start taking a look at those. But the things that held on, I kept. The things that weren't doing well, I killed, and that's kind of weeding the garden. And now I'm hoping for this pullback for a couple of days, because this will allow me, as someone who likes to buy pullbacks and uptrends, this will allow me to then rebuild my list, that anyone who's been following this and getting the email list by signing up for at Sats Edge and actually getting the symbols that they can import right into trade ideas, it's been shrinking and shrinking and shrinking over time because everything's been running, and I don't buy stuff that's running. I just would rather wait for my price, and then when I have winners, really let them go. So we only have a few that we're looking for. We actually entered one today. And this is again talking about I want to own the stuff that's doing well, and I want to get out of the stuff that's not doing well in this market. So this VRX sold off the open and then came up and closed really nicely. So we bought a little bit of this guy right here. Added this one yesterday, I think, basically based off these two candles, and it was also very near the anchored VWAP from this massive candle right here. So, again, if it's strong, keep it. If it's weak, it's time for it to go. Only one added today, but I'm excited. If we're going to pull back or we're going to rest here for a period of time, that's my chance to add more, as now I have a little bit of buying power freed up on things that I got rid of. And it's this Redfin, RDFN, had this kind of major high right here, broke it, and now it came back in. Green day today, green day yesterday, two big bottoming tails as it comes back into this prior high. So this is a polarity play, basically prior resistance becoming support, comes back in. If it holds that and starts to move higher, that's my entry for that one. So that's it for this episode. Tomorrow or on the weekend, we sit back, we look at longer term charts, we look at weekly charts. Excited for that. They're usually a little longer episodes. So again, if you don't want to miss those, because for me, that's when you really get to see the forest instead of the trees. Again, hit like or subscribe or follow wherever you're seeing this. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.